the mayor's loyalties.
When you have the mayor of a major city with a known criminal throwing up gang signs, that's terrible. Is this something that could incite gang violence in the city? And for as critical as she can be with the cops, is she going to support gangs in the city or cops?
The story was quickly met with widespread outrage and mockery from across the country. But KSTP refused to back down, issuing a statement pointing to multiple sources from several law enforcement agencies who had told the station the photo had the potential for undermining the work they are doing on the streets because of, the pointing. But that didn't do much to stop public outcry. KSTP's owner, Stanley Hubbard, was greeted by protesters at a speech he was giving at a local college.
If you want people to invest in your ideas, you have to have integrity.
Integrity. That was the word that ignited the debate inside.
All right, we'll cover that right now. Let's stay for a minute.
The people demanded Hubbard apologize for the story. He said no. He said this about the sources in the story, those that claim the pointing by the man and Hodges were gang signs.
Safety for people who told us this is the case. We said they said it. We didn't say it. We reported what they said. We stand by the story. I'm very sorry if you didn't like it.
That same day, KSTP aired a follow-up to their original report, focusing not on Mayor Hodges, but on the man she took the photo with, Neville Gordon.
Our story has provoked a wave of criticism with allegations ranging from sloppy journalism to racism.
So tonight we respond to the demand for answers and uncover new details on the man who has put himself in the media spotlight.
Now, KSTP's original story was not about Neville Gordon. It was about the mayor. Pointing. Yet the follow-up report dug into Gordon's arrest record and his Instagram page.
And as for the hand gesture that sparked all the outrage, he is shown displaying it repeatedly, the same sign we previously identified as being associated with a local gang.
As for Mayor Hodges, she kept silent on the matter until last Thursday, the same day Hubbard defended the station, and the same day KSTP aired the follow-up story. On her blog, Hodges released an incredible statement, a long, spirited, at times sarcastic defense that criticized the president of the police union, accusing him of trying to prevent her from working to raise the standards of police culture and accountability. There's a critical difference between our good officers who have had a bad day on the job and officers, however few, who have a standing habit of mistreatment, poor judgment relating to the public, particularly people of color. I am as concerned with the negative effects of this conduct on the police department as a whole as I am with its effects on our community, and I'm convinced we can change it, even if it takes years. The next day, Mayor Hodges appeared on the local PBS station questioning the merits of KSTP's reporting on the matter.
If it's really a story about my judgment, why are there stories about Neville Gordon? If it is really a story about my judgment, it's not actually a question about my judgment pointing, because as I said, there are so many pictures of me pointing. And so at that point it becomes the judgment, it's a judgment about whether or not I should have been using stereotypes to assess whether or not I should have been standing with a young African-American man.
Joining me now is David Brower. He's columnist for the Southwest Journal, Minneapolis, former media columnist at midpost.com. All right, David, this story is really something. Let's start with this. KDSB seems to think that they could redeem the original story if they just go take the hammer to the reputation of Neville Gordon, but that was not what the original story was about.
Right, they made a big deal at the beginning, as your sum up said, of not showing Neville Gordon. And one of the things they didn't show in their original report was that he had a badge for NOC, which is the group that was doing canvassing. If they would have shown that badge, it would have been, very much let Hodges off the hook, because it shows what they were doing. They left the impression that she was standing with black criminal and, for no apparent
just throwing
reason.
up gang signs. She was like, her chief of staff was like, hey, I'll roll by in a little bit and we can throw up some gang signs.
Right, and they didn't show the fact that the chief of police was at the same event, standing just off camera in the case of the tightly cropped, blurred photo that they chose to show.
Okay, so that's the context here. I think that's so crucial. And I thought the Mayor Hodges' response was remarkable. I mean, she just goes hard at the police union in a way you almost never see a mayor do, because police unions tend to have a lot of power. What the heck is going on between the police department and the mayor that they came after her with this hit piece to begin with?
Well, there's a lot of things going on. Politically, one of the things you need to know about the police union is they haven't supported a winning mayoral candidate since 2001, so it's been 13 years, and by the way, the crime rate was higher then. They have been against Betsy Hodges, and she was a council person who led a fight to combine their pension fund. They had an ill-run pension fund that eventually was combined with a more solid state fund. Since then, she has not increased the police force as fast as they want. There's been a wave of retirements. The other thing to know about Betsy Hodges is, whatever you think of her in Minneapolis, she is a tough person. She has stood up well before she was elected mayor for the rights of felons to regain their voting rights, for voting rights. This is not something she's been a shrinking violet on, and it's not something that she's ever shown any backup on. If anything, it's forward. So that all sort of came together in her statement. I think it's her deep beliefs in the issues. I think there's some belief in redemption as well, and I think the public has shared that largely.
David Brower, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
D8 cracks down on the NFL. Why?